Yes, the first time. Every time I buy something. Yeah, right inside. I know, it must be hard to just stick to like 5 people. Yeah. Right, exactly.
No, because it's not working.
How are you? Oh, wait.
Come on with us.
They had like something like that for Italian.
And that comes back like where like I said that's like my friend the other day. I actually meant to y'all. I mean it's like so when it's real, it's like not cliche.
Good morning, everyone. If you'll all rise, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all so very much. Pastor Jenkins, if you come up and give us an invocation.
Let us pray. Dear Father, we thank you so much for providing this beautiful day in which we are able to come together to praise you, to worship you, to glorify your holy name for not only keeping us all here, but protecting and keeping our community safe, because specifically the 45th Precinct does such an excellent job. We are asking for your continued blessings over the NYPD in general, that they are able to come in each day, do their work to serve and protect in our communities, and return home to their loving families in one piece and safe. And then they are able to come back again, having been in the presence of their families, loving on them, and do their job once again. We are thankful for this precinct council, their leadership, and everyone here today who supports them. And we are grateful for these community leaders and officers who are being recognized for their leadership, for their valor, and for their service. We ask right now that you will bless us all throughout this worship experience in breakfast fellowship and all that we do. In Jesus' name we do pray and say amen.
Attention.
Okay, so next up we're going to have the national anthem. Officer Grace is having turn to do this for us once again.
Precincts, order.
Can you see, riding on early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
so much. You all please be seated. I'm just going to introduce what we have on the page. Chief of the Maritime College. Commanding Officer of Executive Officer of the Commanding Officer of the 45th Precinct, Captain John. Executive Officer, Chief of Patrol's Office, Inspector William Blaine. Executive Office, Control Bar Deputy Chief Executive Office, Executive Director, Community Affairs and Engagement, Alden Foster. I am the President of 45th Precinct Community Council, Robert Peter. Bob. Attorney, the Honorable Dr. Clark. City Council member from this district, Monte Velasquez. And my organization, Pastor Deborah Jackson. Thank you so much.
Will you say Frank? How you doing, Frank? Nice to see you.
So first up, we're going to have comments from Captain Lloyd. After we address you all.
So welcome to Maritime College. How many people have not been on this campus before? And that's why we appreciate holding your meeting here. We are unfortunately known as the hidden gem of the Bronx. We want to be the bright shining star. The Bronx is home to one of 7 unique colleges in the United States where students can not only get a college degree, but they get their merchant mariner license, which enables them to either drive a ship or have to be an engineering officer on the ship. And when we graduate, those licensed students have 100% employment by the time they're graduating. So if you have a son or daughter, I'm going to do a shameless plug. Please, have them consider Maritime College. And it's great. I think Vanessa may be here, Bronxboro President Vanessa Gibson will be here later, but we have Marjorie here, and we have to give them employee pins because they've been to this campus so many times. It's wonderful to have the support of them. And a shout out to the 45th Precinct. They work so closely with our staff and our university police to ensure Maritime College in our community is safe. We exercise with them. They provide patrol officers when we're having Fleet Week, which unfortunately this year we can't have because our pier is undergoing construction. And they also work with us on the unthinkable. Unfortunately, the active shooter that takes place in so many schools. And we want to thank you, Chief, or Captain, for working with us and ensuring that Maritime College is prepared. Thank you. So there's a lot of exciting things happening on this campus, and we hope you'll take a look for yourself. It's a great day to have down here. We have an old fort at the other end, which is open to the public. It has a museum and classrooms in there. Please feel free to wander around. It's great. We are a welcoming campus, so please do that. We have a brand new ship that will be arriving this summer. It's built by the federal government. They own it. They give it to the state of New York to operate. This is the first of 5 ships they're building some maritime colleges across the United States. Empire State 7 is set to arrive, or be delivered, I should say, in late June, early July. And it will provide our students with state-of-the-art training facilities. And below you, we have a brand new student union going in. We have a science and seamanship center being built. And thanks to Representative Ocasio-Cortez, we now have a offshore wind facility that will be up and running by the end of the summer to help us prepare workers for the offshore wind industry, which is emerging off the coast of New York and New Jersey, and will provide employment for residents of New York City and the Bronx. We're happy to have you. Well, I want to thank you, and please have a great day here. Again, thank you to the 45th Street and all our neighbors. Thank you.
I highly recommend that trip down to the museum. It really is a beautiful place. I know I've been coming here for many years. I visited the museum with my children. For those of you that are involved in education, it's open to your schools to come out and enjoy it. Please bring them out. And I think the ship, when it fits in, will also be open to visitors, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the Empire State Museum. Yes, they do that as well. So it really is an amazing facility. And it is a hidden gem. We need to spread the word a little better. But thank you so much. I'm so thrilled to be here. So let's see what's next up on our program. Captain O'Rourke, come up and say a few words. Say hello to everybody. Captain Johnson would like to join us.
Good morning, everybody. Captain Johnny Oriana. First of all, I see a lot of people in attendance. I just want to say thank you to Norton, not in any particular order, but I did see a lot of people. First, I want to thank Commissioner Joe Ramos, who's here, Chief Bill Riley, Wall City PD. Couldn't ask for a better partner. Bronx DA, Sir Clark, thank you. Marjorie Velasquez, thank you very much. Bronx Borough Executive Chief Steve Ortiz joining us. From Patrol Borough Services, Inspector Glenn. I see Jasmine Cruz, thank you for Worcester, thank you for joining us. Your presence validates the hard work of everyone in attendance, and thank you for your guidance and support. I would also like to express my gratitude towards all the members of the Community Council for their efforts coordinating this tribute to the officers from the 45th Precinct. The dedication and service you provide is invaluable to our police department. I am proud to say I grew up in the city of New York, attended the City University, and have resided in the Bronx for over a quarter of a century. So the sacrifices in going above and beyond of today's honoree not only benefit this community, but extend to my own quality of life. I appreciate everyone in attendance today. This is an amazing turnout. In the previous years, I participated in this wonderful breakfast as the executive officer, and I'm grateful now to attend as the commanding officer. I'm indebted to the honorees today for their vigilance, their sacrifice, and hard work on their behalf. To be a police officer takes a special kind of courage to run towards, not away from danger. I want you to know that your bravery and heroism does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Okay, so Chief of Patrol Committee, Second Command, Ortiz. I just want to say about the Chief of Patrol. You know, we had a Zoom meeting with all the leaders of the Bronx, the community board leaders, the precinct council members, community members, the bids, and it's the first time I ever had a call of that type that lasted nearly 2 hours. He took everybody's concerns. He didn't say, oh, we're out of time, and so many others have. He was very much concerned about what we're concerned about. You know, he wanted to know what he can do to help us, that maybe the precincts are struggling with some of the issues. A lot of them quality of life issues that concern so many of us. And I'm very grateful for that. Chief Lynn, please come on up. And again, thank him so much for it.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Inspector Billy Glenn. I know Bob wanted to promote me right here on scene. But not yet. So Chief Shell is probably one of the hardest working people I ever had the privilege to work for. Dedicated to his job, dedicated to the city of New York, and he does a phenomenal job. So as the executive officer, he's tasked me, like Bob said, with focusing on quality of life issues. So, you know, this type of turnout, I worked in 10 commands in the last 20 years. I've been to community council meetings, I've been to clergy council meetings, I've been to all sorts of gatherings. I have never seen anything as impressive as this. I mean, each and every one of you and Bob all deserve a round of applause just for being there. You know, the Chief Rivera's leadership here in the Bronx, Johnny Ariana's leadership here in 4-5, collectively, with the elected officials, the DA's office, the clergy, the homeowners, the business owners, we can put our heads together to address the issues that concern us most. There's a lot of tremendous work going on here with the precinct. There's tremendous work going on here in the Bronx, and we are headed in the right direction. And we expect each and every one of you to hold us accountable. Let us know what you're seeing, let us know what you hear, and we'll put our heads together to address it. So thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, and thank you for breakfast. It was very good, by the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Inspector. You'll get there. We have faith.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up, I want to bring up from the Borough Command, Representing Chief Rivera, Deputy Chief. I don't want to say the short.
No, that's quite all right. Listen, honestly, it's an honor and privilege to be here, especially with the part of this magnitude. It tells you how involved this community is with this local precinct here. You know, again, we talk about the work that the NYPD does, but in reality, we can't do it by ourselves. We need the cooperation and collaboration with the community. And this crowd here is a testament on how you men and women are working cohesively with the precinct. I know Johnny said he was born and raised up in the Bronx. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, so. But I will tell you though, I'm in my 8th year in the Bronx. I was lieutenant in the 4-8, so I know the Bronx very well. It's very near and dear to my heart. It's the only borough that's attached to the mainland. But you know, a lot of good work that's being done in the Bronx. You know, the leadership of Chief Herrera, and we're going to continue to maintain that. And as the inspector also mentioned, hold us accountable, because again, we can't do it alone. We need your help. We have to collaborate if we want to create a bigger, safer city for all of us to live in. Thank you to Maritime College. Mark, incredible job here. This campus is beautiful. I know you and I had a little conversation. Breakfast is excellent. So thank you all for showing up and supporting the 45th Precinct.
Okay, so District Attorney Garcelle Clark, who's been doing an amazing job. You know, she doesn't just put people in jail. They have a ton of programs for helping people. And the incredible work that they do in this office so often goes unrecognized. So I just want to thank her and her staff for the amazing work they do. And I'm going to ask Bronx District Attorney Garcelle Clark to get up next.
Thank you, Bob. Bob, I want to thank you for your incredible leadership of this 4-5 community precinct. In my 8 years as district attorney, I have worked with Bob. He can call on me. The 4-5 community council knows that. My staff is here. What you are concerned with, I am concerned with. When you are hurt, I hurt. When you're happy, I'm happy. That's the relationship I want to keep having with this community council. I want to thank the women and men of the 4-5 precinct. Your captain, Ariana, is doing a great job as well. Thank you so much. I want to recognize the Co-op City Police, because every time I get up, somebody from Co-op City Police will say, "You never mentioned." I was like, "I never mentioned Co-op City Police." And there you go. And I know that because I am on the end result of all the work that these women and men do, both in the Co-op City Police and the 4-5 precinct. So I appreciate your leadership and your courage in doing this work each and every day. And Co-op City is near and dear to me because I went to Truman High School, so I can't forget Co-op City Police. And years ago, when I was a judge, I used to swear in the new cops every year. So I'm not forgetting Co-op City, okay? I can't. But thank you again for all of your work. So many community leaders here that I know, too many to name, because if I forget somebody, you're going to get mad at me. So thank you to all of you for your leadership. And it's important that the police, the community, clergy, business, all of us work together to make sure that the community is safe. And that's my job as public safety, but it is your job as well, and we do this together. So I appreciate all the work. I want to congratulate the honorees. It's very important that we recognize those leaders in our community that are doing this work, whether they have a title or not. They are contributing to the safety and the wellness of our community, and I want to congratulate all of the honorees today for all of your work. Some of them I know, some of them I don't. But Bishop Nancy Rosario, of course, I know so well, Bishop in that church. And John Cortese, he is the cousin of, that's the Cortese section over there. We know the Cortese, their family had business on East Tremont for years and years. And Maria Cortese, his cousin, is in my office. She has been in my office over 35 years. I've known Maria. She's a close friend, so congratulations to you. And congratulations to you. Thank you so much, Bob, for giving me this opportunity. I've been in DA the last 8 years. Hopefully I'll get to serve you for another 4 years. But again, I'm somebody here that you can reach out and touch. I'm here all the time, and my doors are always open. Thank you, and God bless.
We have had the district attorney come out to our meetings. She's been extremely out there and available, and has always been a friend to the police department. Okay, so the next speaker that I'm going to introduce is our local council member here, Marjorie Velasquez. Community board chair. So please come on up.
Good morning, everyone. A little bit more excitement. Good morning, everyone. The most beautiful thing to see is everyone here united. We've got community leaders, we've got businesses, we've got clergy. Let's take that energy back with us when we're done today, because that's what our community needs. When we're talking about supporting each other, it is also back in the community. When you see an officer who has a tough day, we need to think about bringing up their morale and saying thank you a little bit more. Because we don't know what they're going through. And certainly their families, at the end of the day, thank God that they're coming back. So let's keep that in mind, and let's keep this energy with us, because that's how we're going to make this through. And that's how we're going to keep our community together. I want to thank Bob Bader and the whole 45th Community Policing Council for organizing the police breakfast. And it's a beautiful time to honor our honorees, Angela. Hi there, Angela. It's no secret what a powerhouse she is. Meeting her and working with her during the pandemic, and then seeing her power, going through her personal thing, being a survivor, and showing us how that's done. As a woman, Violet, oh Violet, City Island. Thank you for being you, for always giving that big old hug, and thank you for always taking care of City Island for us and the community. What can I say about Debbie Rock? Edgewater is lucky to have you. That firehouse would not have been completed without your efforts. So thank you so much for staying on top of it, staying on top of all of us, and making sure that we deliver. At the end of the day, that's what we've got to hear. Our voices united and making sure that people deliver on their promises. Next up, Bishop Nancy Rosario. do together. Your prayers are what heals me and my family. Your prayers keep us all safe. So thank you for always being here for our community, and thank you for taking care of us. John. Every single time I see something on Facebook about our streets, it's because of you. Today we got to celebrate you. And I know you're a quiet man and you don't like the attention, but today we need to make sure that we honor you and we make sure that we say literally thank you. So thank you for everything you do unselfishly for our community. And you know what? More people should take your road and help you out. So thank you on behalf of all of us for what you do. And have a blessed day, everyone. Let's take this energy. Let's bring us up all together. Let's let everyone know how grateful we are. Thank you.
Okay, so before we move on to the actual presentations, I'd like to just talk about some special thanks for our sponsors. You know, we charge $20 so that people will actually show up. We spend $20 to show up, and people think you may not come. So we want to make sure people show up. But as you know, breakfast costs a lot more than that. We have amazing people in this community. We have sponsors who make this possible, and make possible all the programs that the Precinct Council runs throughout the year. Every dime we spend goes back to the 45th Precinct. The Explorers, the auxiliaries, the bicycles that they needed, National Night Out Against Crime, Coffee with a Cop, Pizza with a Cop, the various events we do throughout the year. So I have to thank our sponsors. And starting from the very top with our platinum sponsors, River Bay Corporation. Patricia's of East Bronx, also a platinum sponsor. Our gold sponsors, Colonial Home Improvements, and Dominic DeNager's Monuments and Mausoleums. Our silver sponsorships, it's a long list, so be patient with me. Cisco Funeral Home, Skylar Hill Funeral Home, Kathy following and Kathy following in the footsteps of Jim, always being there for the community. I know it's been a year, we all miss him and love him. We can't wait for his people. We're looking very much forward to that. Eco Hibachi Sushi Asian Restaurant, Frank D's, Frankie's Carnival Time, McDermott's Pub, Metro Optics Eyewear, John Benizio, another one who's a long-time supporter and always been a friend. Westchester Square Big, they're here as well. Havana Cafe, some company named Westchester Square Plumbing Supply, Crosstown Diner, Edgewater Park, Owners Co-op, thank you Edgewater Park, Trump Golf Links and Ferry Park, who will be hosting the Young Explorers program in July. They're doing a luncheon there, and they're going to run all sorts of programs and show our kids some job opportunities. So we're very excited to have them as partners as well. Pelham Bay Home Center, Sammy's Fish Box, Sunoco of City Island, and Assemblyman Benedetto, all silver sponsors. And then our bronze sponsorships, the Wicked Wolf, the Spanish American Club, Automatic Heating Supply, Locust Point Civic Association, Bronx Clergy Task Force, Paint, Puff and Peace, National Diner in Westchester Square, City Island Chamber of Commerce, Paul's Police Equipment, and Johnny's Reef in City Island. They also are sponsors. They made us have the ability to do this programming, to have this wonderful breakfast. And for me personally, you know, I always say we go from Castle Hill to Co-op City, Broadsnet, Pelham Bay, Country Club, City Island, Schuylerville. It is one big community. And I always think of us as one community. You know, people always say, where are you from? I'm from the 45th Precinct, the entire part of it. I love being out in this community. I frequently go out for walks and I'm walking every part of this community. And I love every bit of it. We have some of the greatest people in the world here. The generosity, the kindness, the caring, the church, the clergy, They're all always giving. We have so many community people here that just do amazing things. So what we do here, this breakfast, is we look to present to some of those people that are out in our community doing incredible work and not really being recognized for it, never asking for recognition, certainly, but we do recognize. And we do this for people who are strictly volunteers. We don't do anybody who's paid, or we're not looking to try to bring in unions or anything else. You know, this is strictly community members who volunteer their time and their efforts to make our lives a little bit better. So with that, I'm going to move on to the presentations. And I'm going to start with Violet Smith, and I'm going to ask John Doyle to come up and present the award to Violet Smith.
Thank you all. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a nice breakfast. So I'm hoping here today to do one of the honorees for City Island. And as I would always like to say, it's the neighborhood of 4,500 people with 9,000 different opinions. However, I think one opinion that is constant is if you would ask anyone on City Island, no matter what their persuasion, perspective, what have you, everyone would say that Violet Smith is one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. And that Violet Smith is someone, and when times are tough, and you're looking for someone to be there, you're looking for someone who cares, it would be Violet. Violet originally is not a clam digger or muscle sucker, which is the, of course, dividing issue on City Island. Clam diggers are the people who were born there, the muscle suckers are the people who move in. And even if you, I moved there before I was 5, but even after that, I'm a muscle sucker too. So much like Obama, I have a birther movement against me. But regardless, the point is that she came to us through St. Louis, actually. So when you hear that southern twang in her voice, that's where it comes from. Violet, among her many accomplishments, I'm going to start with the tops, Violet. And I know that is your 5 daughters, your 3 stepsons, your 15 grandchildren, and your 4 great-grandchildren, who are now all over the island, who are almost as beloved as you are. Violet was a founding member of several groups on the island, or an active member. First, the Hutchinson River Restoration Project, where her colleagues joined her today. She was Friends of Pelham Bay Park and Temple Bethel, and she was drawn to following the passing of her grandson. Violet has been a voice on many issues, a voice against the opioid epidemic, which has unfortunately ravaged City Island. She's been a voice for environmentalism, but it wasn't always in vogue. She was a voice when they were trying to cut the firehouse. I don't know if everyone remembers that. We were all out there chanting, "Save our ladder, our lives matter." It was decades ago, but the point was that we were out there and we were trying to fight for our fair share of services. And Violet, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember you and I actually walked the island and made these postcards we were getting out to people on Mother's Day. And of the thousands upon thousands of people, I think Violet either hugged or gave a postcard to nearly every single person that visited City Island in the summer of 2010. So this, as Bob said, this is a breakfast about honoring those who quietly do the work, not for praise, not for fame, not for anything else, but do the work quietly to improve the quality of their neighborhood. So, we're here in closing to honor somebody who's a voice of integrity, somebody who, might be fleeting in public life, but when she says she's going to do something, does it. We appreciate that. A voice of compassion, when some folks would rather be strong and wrong than just and right. A voice of caring. Violet, as I said earlier, will be there when folks are going through rough times. And she'll be there with sincerity, she'll be there with an embrace, and she'll be there in a genuine fashion. So for so many, when they've called for help, they've called Violet. But today, Violet, we honor you. So why don't you come on up here, receive your award. On behalf of the 45th Precinct Council, for your service to the community.
grateful, and I thank God for being here, and I hope you enjoy your day. And I'm blessed to the little city island that I live in, that we're so together, so that we're just all tight.
Folks, before you go away, Violet, we have some citations. The elected officials that brought some citations, I know your representatives are here. Why don't you come on up? Marisol and who else is here with the presentations? Jamal, Leah, and Kevin Riley's office and Vendetto's office. Why don't you all come up with the presentations? Wow, there's a lot. Well deserved. Our next honoree is Deborah Wall, who unfortunately couldn't make it, but family's here, is going to say a few words. Michelle Torione is going to do the presentation. Michelle, come on up, I'll get you the intro.
It's so wonderful to see everybody. I have the honor of honoring Deborah Rolfe, and as Bob said, unfortunately she's unable to make it, but her family's here, as well as her Edgewater family is here. I have a few words to say about Deborah. Every time I see Deborah, she says she sees myself and Annie all are together. She's like, oh, there they are, Thelma and Louise in the Bronx. She always has us cracking up. I went to a fundraiser with her at the Bronxonia. And she said to me, what are you drinking? I said, I don't know, I'm not drinking it. She says, well, I have this drink. And she tells me what to drink. I said, you know, Deb, I never tasted that. She goes, oh my God, you do not know, listen. I brought my own because they don't have anything good here in the Bronx zone. And she came in with her little bag and the gin, and she gave me the gin. And it was the best thing I ever had. I've never had that in my life, but she was right about it. It's great to honor her. She's very dedicated to her Edgewater family. And we're very proud to have her as an honoree. And we miss her sorely that she couldn't be here. And I understand that a family member wants to come up and say a few words, so please.
officiating for Debbie. And, I'm sorry, let me introduce, this is Stephanie Field. I'm Bill Mahoney. We're on the board with Debbie. We found out yesterday that Debbie wasn't feeling well. She was on the Beretta. So she asked me to pitch in for her, as I said. We spoke to her just prior to the ceremony starting. And she wants me to say the first thing before I thank you for coming. That volunteers are the glue of this community. And she wanted me to quote her on that and let you know that. She appreciates everyone that's here today, what you do every day, with no spotlight shot in the corner. I want to thank the NYPD press that's here, Captain of the 45th, all the policemen, men and women in our precinct and anywhere else in the city. What you do every day is greatly appreciated and undervalued. I also want to thank our politicians for showing up. I'm going to kind of move this off and keep it short. I want to thank the community board. I want to thank Bob and the council and everyone else that makes this reference every year possible. This was just, we only found out a little while ago we were going to speak, so don't mind me. Debbie does set her regrets. She is on the mend, she said. She sounded pretty good, a little tired, but we all spoke to her at the table. Our other board members, our property manager, our office. Her family was supposed to be here, but you can understand that. She would be very honored to be standing here to receive this award. She stood up for me 4 years ago when I was getting an award here, and unfortunately I had to listen to family I couldn't attend. So she stood up for me. I'm doing the same for today. I know she would also like to send out congratulations to all the other honorees. Violet, I know you don't know me, but I used to go out fly to COVID every Saturday to sit down and diner. You would come in and I support many of your hosts. John, I know what you do. I know that. I thank you for what you do. Again, you're all volunteers, it's unpaid, it's unrecognized by a lot of people. Thank you for all the people here giving you the recognition you all deserve. I just want to again thank all the officers here and what this means to the precinct house and what it can do for the community. I don't want to go on any longer. I know Debbie would say thank you and she would speak much better than I have. But I do want to do one shout out, as they say today. The NCOs in Section 8. Officers for the day they came aboard as NCOs, they worked alongside our property manager, Anthony Ponce, and hand in hand for the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been. And when we have a problem in the park, they are there. They respond. They help us resolve our situations, as do all the officers. And I want to thank you all. And I thank you all.
Put a speech together, but I want to thank everybody. And she's Debbie very, very appreciates this. She does a great job for Edgewater. Thank you.
I get the pleasure, the privilege, the honor of doing this presentation. This is a woman I've actually only known a few years. She's one of the most impressive people I've ever met in my life. Angela Torres. With the Precinct Community Alliance that she started, has done so much in this community. I just made a few notes because it's endless. You know, I was previously the chair of the Youth and Education Committee on Community Board 10. When Roger was elected and left the position of municipal services, I was asked to take back. But Angela Torres sat on my committee, so I felt very confident turning over the mantle to Angela Torres. So now Angela is the chair of the Community Board 10 Youth and Education Committee. But her work in education just goes on and on. Community Education Council, the Executive Board of the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Board, President of Council District 8 is covering 36 schools in the Bronx. PTA President for Urban Institute of Mathematics. It just goes on. And with the Precinct Community Alliance, she has put together food pantries, school events, hampers and pampering events, Coke giveaways, the Easter extravaganza, where she and her volunteers took 15,000 Easter eggs and stuffed them with candy. 15,000! I couldn't get over it. The mayor was dumbfounded when he saw this. It was just an incredible event. That was done in conjunction with Hannah, our PO officer here, our community affairs team. And it was just an amazing event. And of course the Precinct Council was involved, but she just took the lead and just did amazing things. The Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, the fall festival, free services, counseling, tutoring, employment services, housing services, twice the tots, Christmas parties and shelters. This is a person who sees a need and doesn't say who's going to fill it. She says, I'm going to fill that need. She just does amazing work in our community, and I'm just so impressed. I mean, I just can't get over the incredible talents that she has shown this community, the love she has given to us, and so many thousands of lives that she has improved through her efforts. I am so honored to present this award to Angela Torres.
I'm going to try not to get emotional. I'm just so overly moved by all of you, because really, at the end of the day, I couldn't be standing here if it wasn't for so many people that are here in this room, especially those from Precinct Community Alliance. And I want to thank you from my heart for being here, because it means the world to me. I want to share that this particular year was a stranger year because, you know, last year I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I really was, you know, initially devastated, as one would say, right? Like, it really shocked my world. And I remember one of the first things that I thought of was, how is this work going to continue? Well, actually, the first one was, how's my family going to handle this, my children, right? And then secondly was, how is this work going to continue? And I was in awe as to how everyone, both in the education space as well as in Precinct Community Alliance, made everything work day after day. Even set up a meal train when my chemo made me so weak that I couldn't do what I needed to do. And so I want to let you know that Even though sometimes, you know, people say, oh wow, you know, you're almost like a hero today. And I'm like, but you guys are my heroes, and you allow me to stand. No house is able to stand without its foundation, and you guys are my foundation. And first of all, and I thank God for the ability to be able to stand today, because to stand and to just be here in front of all of you is a gift. Life is a gift. I just want to say all of this is possible through private and public partnership. I was so happy to do the 45th, work with Hannah and so many from the 45th in making the Easter extravaganza so grand. Let's give her a hand first. And I want to say that that's where we're able to do things. Sometimes people ask me, Angela, how do you put these big things together? It's by everyone seeing the gift within themselves that they're able to give to make the world a little bit better. And so it doesn't feel like work because it's something that comes from the heart. And so I thank all of you for all that you do to make your world better. And if you haven't discovered that yet, discover it today and make a difference exactly where you are. Thank you so much.
She just gives off like this positive vibe about her. You can tell. She has like that warm. I don't even know her. She has like that. People gravitate to her. You do?
She's got more people here than anybody else. She's really nuts. So be patient. We got a lot of cameras.
She's been through a lot. There you go outside. Where are you going to be? A table number?
On behalf of John Ortiz.
Good morning, all. I'm Annie Bowler. I've been on the community council for a decade now. And if you've been to our breakfast before, you already know what I'm about to say. Those of you who haven't, well, here it goes. I do not like public speaking. It makes me nervous. It makes my voice crack. A wise friend once told me to imagine everyone in the room naked, and so I am. Right now. And some of you I'm imagining naked twice. Now, let me introduce my friend John Cortez. His bio in his words. A love story, but only just. In 1963, in Marseille, France, a young Italian girl, Assunta, meets a young Italian man, Luigi Cortez. It turned out to be the greatest man she had ever known. Without ado, they fall for each other and get married. They moved to the United States in 1971, and like many others, to work hard and to live their American dream. And this is how I was born, John Cortez. The epitome of love and devotion, determination and hopes. My parents had 3 children, Brother Michael, Sister Lena, and myself. All 3 of us succeeded in life and brought tremendous pride to our parents. But I truly believe that I have been the jewel of my parents' eye. I have always been a gifted writer in school and an amateur actor in middle school. I grew up in Broad's Neck, a neighborhood in the peninsula in the southeastern portion of the borough of the Bronx in New York City. I never left the Bronx. I went to school here, I made friends here. My parents worked here, and ultimately my community became the existential part of me. As a true Italian positions and stayed in my parents' home. I took care of them for years, and it gave me tremendous joy. Without a doubt, my life was the happiest when my parents were around. The first one I lost was my father, who died in 2016. The second loss was more protracted. My mother, shattered by my father's death, suffered a series of breakdowns and ultimately died of Alzheimer's in 2019. Like many uprooted children, I have vivid memories. The pictures of the pages of the Bible, the song my mom used to hum when cooking, and many other memories. These are the memories that keep me going. Coping with the loss of my beloved parents, I spent a great deal praying to find the path to healing. Surprisingly, I found that healing in serving my community. The story of my cleaning project is the story of seeing the change I want to see in the world and the tools to get through the loss. It is also a story of vision, passion, and determination required to build and nurture an idea. I started my cleaning project back in 2020. I meticulously recorded and photographed my progress. I overcame the milestones over and over and was determined that despite people continuing to destroy the great work I was doing, none of that was going to impede my journey. And I was right about that. I decided to share my experience and persistently make my points on Facebook. I simply started posting the pictures and letting people know that there is someone out there who still cares. In the weeks that followed, I was carried along by a massive amount of generosity and kindliness from friends, family, and strangers. All of it kept inspiring me and kept me going. I received countless messages and I read them all. They mattered a lot. I had to combine this project now with my rescue efforts and my career. I received donations. I was asked about ways of helping me. It has been my intention during the 3 years of cleaning to seek out every possible opportunity in connecting with people that may help me bring awareness to this. Through this project, I met some close friends. I got to know people that can make a change just like myself. This is my personal manifesto, a plea from me to you. My goal is to persuade you that there is an opportunity available to you, a chance to significantly change your community for the better. It starts by making a simple choice. I know you can do this, and I hope you will. Please join me in my daily efforts to make Broad's Neck the best community it can possibly be.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, neighbors, friends, family. I'm better at writing than speaking, because speaking I get a little nervous, although I was a theater major. But, you know, through the years, as you get older, you lose those skills of acting and speaking in front of large audiences. I would like to thank the community officers, affair officers, Officer Hannah Rivera, Detective Will Sanchez, and Officer Chrissy Torres. They are always there for me when I call, and also the captain and lieutenant of the precinct when I call with issues, minor issues from people pulling up and opening a business on the side of the road and deciding that it's okay to leave the trash that they cleaned out cars for the entire day on the side of the road. And here I come after working in double shift at work as a nurse in the psychiatric emergency room. And I stop my car on the way home, and I feed the feral cats that I have multiple colonies of. And I'm picking up garbage. It's 12 midnight, I have to be back to work at 7. I'm picking up garbage from like 12 to 1 because I care so much about our community. I was here all of my life actually. When we came from Marseille, we lived in Westchester Square for a short period of time. And then my family uprooted and we moved to Broad's Neck. And I care about our community a lot. And some people say, oh, be careful, people are going to dislike you because you're doing this, you're doing that. I'm not here for people to dislike me or like me, but I do like the fact that people do like me. So I will continue to do my work. People have driven by, and as they see me picking up garbage, they've thrown bottles out the window, and when I say, hey, what are you doing? Is that necessary? We don't have to say what comes out of their mouths, but obviously these are people that really don't care about our community. Broad's Neck is a beautiful community. My uncle owned Americo's restaurant, if any of you know Americo's. That was Uncle Tony, and as Garcelle said earlier that my cousin Maria Cortese, Uncle Tony's daughter, worked with her for over 35 years, and she's still there. And we live in this community, we love this community, we have to do better. We really do. Since I started this program, I have to say, I have picked up over a ton of garbage. Do I weigh it? Absolutely not. But I know what I pick up, and there's lots of times where I spend 5 or 6 hours in the scorching heat and the freezing cold. But I am out there, and I will continue, I promise you, I will continue to build my little crew. Anybody want to help? I'm more than happy to bring you aboard. And you can join me, you can DM me, you can follow all of my progress on the 45th Precinct unofficial police blotter. You see all my postings and cleanups. And I also started, a friend started a new page called Clean the Bronx. You can follow us on there. But please, if you're driving by and you beep, you give me the kudos, thumbs up. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of that. It shows me that people care. Believe it or not, I get a lot of that. A lot of that. So I want to say thank you to all the people I didn't mention, I forget, but thank you so much for coming and for celebrating this special day with me, and thank you so much, God bless us all, and thank you to the officers of the 45th Precinct for serving our community and for caring. Thank you.
Oh, that's what it was? It was like a green or something?
Garbage goes that way, man. Right down there. Big garbage bin there, and then you keep walking behind the garbage conveyor belt.
Thank you, thank you. I will. Thank you.
One more presentation for community members. Before we move on to our police honorees, I'm going to ask Sophia to come on up for the honoree to Bishop Nancy Rosalia.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming out on this beautiful day. Today we're honoring Bishop Nancy Rosario, who is a lifelong resident of New York City, one of the largest corporate companies. Thank you. I connected with Bishop Rosario during the time of the pandemic, when most of us were home. I was working from home at the time, and the feeling of isolation was more than I could bear. The Church of All God's Children, which she ministers along with her husband Angelo, was one of the very few churches that was open at the time. I was able to go worship and fellowship with them. So it became a great connection, and I am extremely grateful at the fact that she and her husband have their doors open for anyone who wanted to enter. So that's how I became friends with the Rosario family. Something you don't know about Bishop Nancy, she and her husband are from share a blended family of 8 daughters, 2 sons,
24 grandchildren, and 27 great-grandchildren. I don't know who can beat that. Some of the things, the many talents that she has is she's a motivational speaker. She's a Bronx member of the Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson's Advisory Council for the Bronx Clergy Task Force, advocating for quality of life concerns not only by who's represented, but for the entire Bronx. Alzheimer's, known as the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. She is certified to lead support groups of caregivers, helping them understand and cope with life-altering events of a loved one with this disease. She's the current secretary of Community Board 10 and was previously chairperson of Community Board 10 for Health and Human Services. She's a member of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, an organization that improves the quality of life for children fighting their illnesses by realizing a wish. She is national co-chair of the American Clergy Women in Ministry and ambassador for peace for the Universal Peace Federation, an organization that raises awareness and advocates for human rights and religious freedoms throughout the world. Nancy is currently working on her community health screening certification from Columbia University, which she will utilize for health screenings in the community. Nancy takes delight in teaching and empowering women because knowledge is power. She does this in her secular and pastoral work, connecting people, bringing diverse communities of various faiths through the sharing of information and being a resource to them. She believes that it is better to be blessed to give than to receive. So Nancy, thank you. Thank you for your service to the community.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I knew I had to say something. I said, well, at my age, I kind of better write it down. No offense to anybody in any scene. Please. But thank you, everyone. By the way, hand applause to Angela and Hannah Rivera. Thank you. So I really want to thank you, everyone here, to Sonia Feliciano for thinking of me. Thank you to Bob Peter, the 45th Council. Thank you to my husband, as you all know him better than me. Sometimes I know I'm a bishop's wife. I want to say thank you to my daughter, who's accompanying me, our youngest daughter. Some of you may know her as Angie Rose. She's an artist. And I'm also sometimes known as just Angie's mom. That's okay. She's also a Bronx girl and a graduate of Truman High School.
Oh, sorry about that.
I want to thank also my church mother and her husband, Felipe Gonzalez, who are here accompanying me today. I want to thank the River Bay board members and River Bay Corporation for 33 years of employment. Thank you for being here today. You're always here. You know, being a bivocational minister at the time from River Bay really helped me, and also being a department head in some of these, in all the departments of River Bay. After 33 years, I think I went through every department, so I knew about maintenance, janitorial, buildings, grounds, cleaning, poop, and from geese. Geese at the time, okay? I want to thank our Community Board 10 members and our wonderful chair, Joe Russo, and my district manager, Community Board 10, Matt Cruz. Everyone, thank you. Love you. I thank you to our dais, everyone here. I have a especially warm place in my heart for Darcel, not because she's a district attorney or because she's a woman, but you know, sometimes people leave an imprint in your heart, and I always remember Darcel, that when I retired from River Bay and they gave me a retirement party at the Southside Caterers in Park City, she was just coming in from a flight in Washington. It was kind of rainy, but she made it to my retirement party. So I really want to thank you for that. That left and has always left an imprint in my heart for her, you know. And of course, I want to thank our Angels in Blue, the NYPD. I call them my Angels in Blue. And I am biased for the 45th Precinct, after all I live here. And the entire 45th Precinct Community Council. I really consider myself blessed and humbled to be included with such wonderful, community-minded honorees. I have to hold a candle to the rest of you guys with me today. Thank you. Especially Angela Torres, whom I was surprised that Bob, after years of chairing the Youth and Education Committee, actually passed a baton to her. I was surprised, and she's actually doing a great job. Love her for that. So anyway, I was born in Queens. Don't hold it against me. I was only there for a few hours. I was born in Queens at the U.S. Naval Hospital because my dad was in the Army at that time. But a few days later, I was brought to the Bronx where I've lived for 71 years. And I guess something about being born in a military hospital must have rubbed off. Because as I sat here, I remembered a past incident when I was only 12 years old. There was this girl who was bullying a friend of mine who was only 11 years old. And one day, you know, as the place goes in those times, before guns and all that, they would just invite you to fight. You know, yeah, that's right. So the girl invited her, she was very tall, like Angela, and she invited my friend who was shorter to fight. So I saw the fear in my friend's eye, and I stepped in and I said, I'll fight for you. I won't tell you who won. So I guess ever since for that, it paved the way for my adult life, looking out for some people who cannot help themselves. So as movies go, I'm jumping ahead 12 or so years later. Now I'm 24 and 26. And at that age, I met two men who were a catalyst in my life. One of them changed my life, and I learned from him to give by grace what I have received by grace. And that it is better to give than to receive. And that man is known as Yeshua Messiah. The other man actually lived by these two concepts and taught me to actually live that type of life as a giver and a helper of people. And of course, as romantic movies go, I married that man. But I also want to thank my mom, may she rest in peace, for giving birth to me. My absent dad, who was available for me to be birthed. And to be a strong woman, okay? I thank God for many of you here who have made a difference. You know, our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And I always say, if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. Like I said, I'm just finishing a course to be certified as a community health worker through Columbia University. So I intend to be around a lot of places doing health events, and especially around the 4th, 5th. I'm going to make it my business to hang around you guys, do screenings, and make sure that you're in good health, because we want you to be healthy to protect us in this community. So I'll be talking about this. You're going to see a table with health screening, your blood pressure, and all that good stuff, so you can stay healthy. So I'll end with this saying, I read this in a book. Like gusts of wind moving across the prairies, we never manage God's will in our lives. We do not wield it or manifest it. Instead, we just respond to it. So I thank everyone here and our 45th Precinct NYPD here at the table who have responded to the calling of God in their lives and to the calling in their lives, no matter whom you serve, to help and protect our community. I thank you so much. God bless you. Let us give a hand to our NYPD institution, to our civil workers, our local leaders, all our public health officials, and those who are always working to make a difference in the Bronx. I thank you all. Thank you, thank you. I don't know how else to say thank you, but just thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you. Woo! Love it. And hopefully starting in September, I'm going to have my first Thursday walk. Your community council.
Next up, we have our honoree from the police department. Captain Jones, officers from his staff and his patrol, because they're outstanding police officers who all deserve special recognition. I'm going to turn this over to Chief Orellana, and from Chief Orellana,
I got promoted Chief. Chief Ortiz, I just want to set this record straight. I was raised in Brooklyn. I reside in the Bronx, and I'm happy to be here. The Bronx is the birth of hip hop, and there's nobody more hip hop than I am. When I listen to music, my friends, aren't you 50 years old? So, as the just to follow, just real quick with Bishop Rosales, she quoted something in the Bible. And please, if I misspoke from the Bible, I apologize. But something always, they always try to tell my officers and try to convey to them is to whom much is given, much is required. And the officers that we're about to acknowledge have taken this to heart. I would say most of my officers, almost all my officers in the precinct deserve to be honored, but these officers, these 6 officers that I'm about to acknowledge, have really gone above and beyond. The first officer we're about to acknowledge is Officer Ryan Selman. And before I read his bio, thank you. Before I read his bio, I just want to say a few months ago, we had a wanted flyer, a wanted poster for a rapist. And Officer Ryan Selman took it upon himself with his partner and staked out a location where he felt that this individual might be located. And he actually set up a perimeter, and we actually apprehended this individual, this rapist, who was wanted for 2 other rapes. So this is the type of individuals we're talking about right now. So Officer Selman has been with the New York City Police Department for 5 years, starting his career in April 2018. He was born and raised in New York City. He has been assigned to the 45th Precinct since graduating the police academy. Officer Selman has many roles which are assigned to the command. While assigned to patrol, he was a response auto and steady sector, and upon moving to special operations, he was the Westchester Square bid officer and now currently a neighborhood coordination officer. Officer Selman has effected over 54 arrests, including over 20 violent felonies. Officer Selman, thank you. The Officer Selman's 5-year career has been honored as the 45th Precinct Cop of the Month 4 times. It's huge. As a patrol officer, Officer Selman was able to learn the paramedical area of the command, as well as a repeat offender that frequent the command, and he used this knowledge to effect arrests, some of which close out citywide crime patterns. This knowledge has helped with his transition into special operations and to focus on specific crimes that affects the residents of the 45th Precinct. Prior to Officer Selman's career in law enforcement, he served in the U.S. Army from 2008 to 2014 in an infantry battalion where he was an infantry team leader. He is very grateful for the skill and team building experience that the military has taught him and believes it was instrumental for his career with the NYPD. Officer Selman is grateful to serve the community. Brian, can you step up? In recognition of his extraordinary service, your dedication and commitment are appreciated. The next officer to acknowledge him, one of my favorite officers in the precinct, is Officer Michael Hughes. Officer Hughes is a 3.5-year veteran of the NYPD. Upon the completion of the police academy, Officer Hughes was assigned to the 45th precinct where he started his career on patrol. While on patrol, Officer Hughes was quickly selected to join the nightlight team due to his strong work ethic and motivation. While being part of the nightlight team, Officer Hughes addressed various quality of life concerns in the community, including drag racing, unreasonable noise, and monitoring bars within the precinct. Officer Hughes has worked relentlessly to keep our community safe by effectively and swiftly removing multiple illegal firearms off our streets and continuing to keep the community safe. His hard work did not go unnoticed, and Officer Hughes was asked to be a neighborhood coordination officer. Officer Hughes is now a neighborhood coordination officer for Sector Boyd, which covers Pelham Bay, Westchester Square, and Country Club area. While assigned to the sector, Police Officer Hughes has shown excellence and pride in engaging with the community, while also maintaining vigilance and keeping it safe. Thank you, Officer Hughes. Next officer we're going to acknowledge, I'm going to read her bio, but before I do that, I just want to publicly acknowledge Officer Curry. About 2 weeks ago, there was a child who, 4-year-old child who ingested cannabis edible. And through her quick action, we were able to save that child's life. She got there quickly. She put the child in the police vehicle as opposed to waiting for the ambulance, which is protocol. And then she ended up running into the ambulance, and we got to the Jacoby quickly. But the child was in really, really bad shape. And again, thanks to quick action, I believe after speaking to the physician, probably saved the child's life. So Officer Corey is a 5.5-year veteran of the New York City Police Department with over 80 arrests, including multiple violent felonies. Officer Corey was hired October 2017 and upon graduating was assigned to the 45th precinct. Officer Curry works on patrol, which is assigned steady sector boy covering Westchester Square, Pelham Bay, and the Country Club. Throughout her time on patrol, Officer Curry continues to show professionalism and compassion when engaging with the community, as well as keeping the public safe. Her strong work ethic and motivation do not go unnoticed, as she was honored Cop of the Month in February 2020, as well as December 2022. Officer Curry has demonstrated daily her ability to continuously adapt to the needs of the precinct community and provide exceptional and professional service to anyone she has encountered. With her humble and modest nature, she credits all of this to her family, her son Shane, and her parents for supporting her through all of the long days and late nights. It's my honor to acknowledge Police Officer Curry.
Congratulations. Always nice to see you. You'll get coffee. Get someone to take a nice photo. So much. It's very high praise that Bob gave it to you. Oh yes, very high praise.
Okay, the next officer is my man Chris. Officer Chris Gravis is a 17-year-old veteran of the NYPD. Upon completion of the police academy in 2017, Officer Gravis was assigned to the 5-2 precinct for impact training. After 1 year of training, Officer Gravis was then transferred to the 45 precinct. While assigned to the 45 precinct, Officer Gravis has held positions including patrol, field training officer, and most recently the auxiliary police coordinator. Officer Gravis is well respected by his peers, supervisors for his experience and wisdom. He's willingly mentored the younger officers in the precinct and has been looked upon for guidance and advice. Officer Gravis has been instrumental in assisting at events in detail, overseeing the 45th Precinct Auxiliary Police Unit, not only within the 45th Precinct, but throughout the Bronx and the city. Officer Gravis has proudly received 6 police duty commendations and 3 excellent police duty commendations. Officer Gravis was also named Cop of the Month in July 2020 for life-saving actions. Officer Gravis comes from a large law enforcement family and proudly wears the name Shield as his father. Officer Gravis continues to show tremendous passion for the NYPD and most recently has been transferred to the elite NYPD Emergency Service Bureau Medical Squad in April 2023. It's my honor to acknowledge Officer Gravis.
No, it's not true. That's great. Sorry.
Okay, so the last two officers, ever since this officer I'm about to introduce came to the precinct and I held community council meetings, I've been talking about him. And finally, a lot of you guys are going to meet him right now. Because if that saying goes, art imitates life or life imitates art, I don't know, I get confused. But one of those, if you watch the movie Die Hard, and the main character is John McClane, this guy his last name is McClane, so he's literally John in Die Hard when it comes to addressing community concerns and fighting crime. And I'm really, that's an understatement. I mentioned this story, I'm just gonna say it really quick so you guys can get an idea of who we're dealing with when we talk about Eddie McClane here. So I'll just give you one quick example. 3 in the morning, one evening, or one late midnight, he's watching this individual goes inside a CVS store on East Tremont on a bike, 3 in the morning. He already has contact with the manager. Hey, did you see that guy going inside the store? Yeah, okay, watch him. Comes back, say, yeah, he took something. 3 in the morning. McClane, he's one of those guys, he's tenacious, he doesn't give up. You give him an assignment, he's never gonna give up. He goes after this individual, he doesn't stop, continues, the guy's on bike. Eventually, McClane grabs the e-bike and finally chases the individual approximately a mile away from the CVS store. Apprehends the individual, runs the individual on a computer base, and discovered this guy is wanted for a sexual assault and a robbery. So this is the kind of individual we're talking about. So now let me read you his quick bio. It doesn't do it justice to what he does. Officer Eddie McClane is a 16-year veteran of the NYPD with over 700 arrests. Officer McClane was hired in 2007 upon completion of police academy. McClane was assigned to the 46th precinct for impact training. After 6 months of training, McClane was then transferred to the 41st, the 47th, the 48th in Yankee Stadium, where he served in numerous special operations units and plainclothes enforcement. Officer McClane was recently assigned to the 45th precinct and was placed into the nightlife enforcement unit, where him and his team has made over 60 arrests for various crimes. During the short period of time the Officer McClane has been part of nightlife, he has already effectively removed illegal firearms, DWI arrests, shoplifting, and numerous retail violations, stolen cars, and substantial amount of narcotics of our street. Continue to keep the community safe. It is my honor to acknowledge Police Officer McClane. So last, not least, and I saved the best for last. And everybody, as you can all attest, I have the best community affairs team. We have Will Sanchez, we have Sharice Torres, but they were not Kristen, Sharice, and they both would, I think, will agree that if it wasn't for the next officer that I'm about to introduce, a lot of things that we do in the community wouldn't be accomplished. This officer, you know, I call her all the time for a million things. She picks up the phone, she answers right away. You might hate me, a lot of people might hate what I'm about to say, but this last Sunday, Mother's Day, I called her because I need her something to do, and she picked up right away. So she answered right away. So but this is the kind of individual we're talking about. She's the Wonder Woman of the. Yes, a person, she's a go-getter, and I'm glad to have her. I'm just going to read a quick bio of her. Officer Hannah Rivera has been with the New York City Police Department for 15 years. Upon graduating from the Police Academy, Officer Rivera was assigned to the 5-2 precinct where she did her field training. In January 2011, she was transferred to the 45th precinct and assigned to patrol. Officer Rivera has effected over 165 arrests in her career, including 75 of which have been in the 45th precinct. These arrests include misdemeanors and felonies, including multiple robbery felony arrests. In June of 2014, Rivera was honored Cop of the Month for an arrest of robbery suspect, which led to the closing of a robbery pattern. In September 2014, Officer Rivera was assigned to the 45th Precinct Crime Prevention Officer. This position was a stepping stone to becoming part of the 45th Precinct Community Council Unit in June of 2016. In this position, Officer Rivera has grown a strong relationship with local leaders of the community, working as a liaison between the needs of the community and the precinct. In her position as Community Affairs Officer, Officer Rivera is tasked with facilitating, coordinating, and attending meetings with leaders and business owners in the command. These individuals, in addition to community members who needs great and small, are assisted by Officer Rivera with speed, tact, and respect. Officer Rivera receives calls of concern from the community 24 hours, 7 days a week. Absolutely. At any given time, she will reach out to whomever necessary in order to address and to meet those concerns. Her care and responsibility for her job exceeds the expectation of the community. In the past 15 years of her tenure with the NYPD, Officer Rivera has worked tirelessly to meet the needs of the police, the people she serves. She is neatly aware of the needs of the community through endless dialogue and outreach. Officer Rivera strives to improve the quality of life in partnership with the community by conducting herself with compassion, courtesy, professionalism, and respect. Her love for the city and the department are demonstrated daily, but she credits all this to her family, her 2 young children, Henry and Charlotte, and her husband, Rob. Rivera, can you please bring they're beautiful, can you bring them please up there? I don't mean to put them on the spot, but they're so beautiful.
I don't think any other can carry their kid up.
It's truly my knowledge to acknowledge Officer Hannah Rivera.
did. I have to microwave something for lunch.
Okay, so we have one more special award we want to present. I'm going to ask Captain Gaines for the auxiliary police officers to come up to honor Officer Gary Bates of Washington State.
Good morning, everybody hear me? Good morning. This is Captain Gaines, Precinct Unit. We're here today to honor auxiliary police officer Bates, who unfortunately passed away recently. If anybody knows anything about the service in reference to Army and Marine, that's me. So I met Mr. Bates. I'm a former Marine. Bates was in the Army. So he had many years there. I had 10 years there. So I said, Bates, I'm a former Marine. Bates' answer was, I'm sorry to hear that. That's Bates. So as we cross this journey, we talk about volunteer, commitment. Everybody in the room, I can't thank you enough for what you do. Being able to work with NYPD and the office of the 45th Precinct is exemplary. Now, Bates had a funny character. This is the guy who would stand on the corner and look up, and then you would start looking up. You know what you're looking for, but you're looking up. That was Bates. Very diligent, very sharp, very committed. He was a crucial loss to our unit, and we still feel passion, we still heard about it, but we're glad that we can recognize him and talk about it. You know, so with that said, you know, he's going to be terribly missed, but never forgotten. So today we have his nephew that's here. I'd like to have him come up just to receive his award, you know, the recognition. Ron Bates is here. Can you please come up, sir? Honoring Auxiliary Officer Gary D. Bates, a grateful appreciation for a life lived in service to the country, the community, and family. The officers of the 45th Precinct, Auxiliary Officers, and the Precinct Community Council 2023.
Okay, so I just want to say happy Bronx Week to everybody. As you all know, this is Bronx Week, so there was another breakfast here, otherwise Vanessa Gibson would have been here. But she's over at the Bankers Breakfast, which is part of Bronx Week. We're not part of Bronx Week, we just coincidentally fell together. I do want to once again say what a thrill it is for me to have our community together, to have this breakfast with each other, and to share one beautiful big family of the 45th Precinct. Captain, would you like to say some final words?
Thank you for everybody attending. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for Inspector Glenn coming by, and thank everybody. And you guys showing up really touched us, and I'm very grateful, and all the police officers in the 45th Precinct are very grateful, appreciate of you guys. Thank you.
Benediction, I want us to remember those that pay the ultimate price, our police officers that have gone home to be with the Lord. We have a moment of silence remembering the work that they've done in the families that they left behind. To me, that's a very important area that sometimes we forget. Those that ran the streets trying to protect our seniors, our children, and our community. They worked very hard and many times are criticized for trying to do the best job that they could. The most important of everything, that God may receive them in His holy presence. God is not a denominational. He is our Heavenly Father that loves us all. There are some that gone through so much problem that they have taken their own life, and no one is there for them. I think it's time for us to awaken and know and respect what they continuously do. Our community is one of the greatest communities that we have in the Bronx, the whole Bronx. I've been ministering in the Bronx for 62 years. And we have people that have believed of all faith. Shalom Aleichem to our brothers, Muslim brothers, shalom to our Jewish brothers, and peace and blessings to each and every one of us that are here. And upon those that have already left, that the angels of the Lord may accomp around them. And even upon those that don't believe that there's a creator, but they believe in community. Ain't that crazy? Now they don't believe that there's a creator because they're confused there, but they do believe in community. That is awesome. So may the peace of our Lord and the grace of our God be upon each and every one of us in our homes, and may He protect us from the youngest to the oldest, especially our ladies. Because without you ladies, we wouldn't be able to do anything. We wouldn't be here. So peace and blessings to all. In Jesus' name, thank you.
Yeah. Now, this one won't turn on.